Here in Greater West Bloomfield, local businesses putting women's health in focus as one of the community's newest, most innovative wellness facilities hosts Glow and Restore with workshops exploring a number of ways that you ladies can take new approaches to your wellness and overall health. Joining us with the details, Angelica Arens, the founder of Everly Rose Holistic Wellness. Angelica, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to have you on the program to talk about this because it's a way for women to take a different approach to their health and wellness. Specifically, before we get into some of the finer details of this event, why put the focus on women specifically getting this sort of advice and a look into some of these options for their health and wellness?
Well, honestly, for a long time, a lot of the focus about health and wellness has been directed towards men. And that's not a bad thing at all. But when you look at men and women physiologically, the things that work for men don't necessarily work for women in the same way. And so what we really want to do is try to bring forth these different modalities and ways of healing that are women specific, just because it really hasn't been studied before.
And so what are some of these different methods that will be used or will be explored as these women get to experience this event with you and with the team at Beam Light Sauna?
So the focus of this event with Beam Sauna is that we are going to have a small class about how to prepare for a sauna, such as mineralizing, making sure you eat clean beforehand, staying hydrated. And there's just slight differences in how you want to remineralize a woman versus remineralizing a man. But that's not to say that men aren't allowed to come to this as well. We're kind of just going to go over the best ways to prepare so you get the most out of your sauna session, both before and after.
Angelica Arens is with us from Everly Rose Holistic Wellness. They will be hosting, along with Beam Light Sauna, at Beam Light Sauna in West Bloomfield, Glow and Restore, a women's wellness experience. You can see it on your screen right now. Saturday, July 11th, 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. There is a limited amount of seats available. Just 30 guests will be able to attend. You can find more information about that by visiting Beam Light Sauna on their social media, beam.westbloomfield.mi on Instagram, or search Beam Light Sauna West Bloomfield to get info and to sign up for this event. Angelica, as you get ready for this and as people consider going to this, how do you take what you'll learn at this to go beyond simply offering wellness treatment, but instead focus on the reason why these treatments are helpful for these women?
Well, your wellness starts at home. And I think in the fast-paced world we live in, that it's really hard to take the time to slow down and really just kind of focus on you. The past decade, we've had this huge movement of the self-care movement, right? But it became very commercialized. And I think now people are ready to start slowing down and really looking inward at their true wellness, because health and wellness are different. And part of that is slowing down. When I go to Beam, I get to sit down and read a book for 30 minutes. I can't tell you how many years it had been that I got to read for fun. And I think this particular event is really going to open people's eyes as to how easy it is to make these small changes. It's real easy to go and take a pill or take a million supplements or spend all this money, right? But the foundations are just really about slowing down, proper nutrition and proper hydration. And these saunas help you to process out the waste that's in your body already. So it's just kind of resetting how we look at our own health and wellness.
There's a couple of different sessions for this, 5:30 p.m. arrival and another one, a 6:30 p.m. arrival. That being said, still just those limited 30 seats for this event. It is a $50 ticket to get yourself in, and it will be hosted at Beam Light Sauna, their new location on Orchard Lake Road in West Bloomfield. Another way to get in contact and get your tickets, 248-422-2336. Again, the phone number 248-422-2336. 2336. Angelica Arens will be hosting the event. She is the founder of Everly Rose Holistic Wellness, joining us on The Splash today as we put women's health and wellness in focus with some different approaches, holistic approaches to women's health that they can incorporate each and every day, or by using those resources that are available to them in our community. Angelica, it's good to know this before people attend this event. It's even more important for those that maybe aren't able to attend or can't attend this time outside of these sorts of therapies that are available through innovative businesses like Beam and other saunas of its kind in our local area. What are some of the other activities or actions on a daily basis, those small steps that women should be taking, if nothing else, than to find a baseline of where their health and wellness is and where they want to take it?
So, I mean, the number one thing, and it is not some magic like wave your wand, it's get outside and move in nature, stay hydrated, eat as clean a diet as you can. And it's just like those baselines are your starting point. What a lot of people struggle with is the consistency aspect. And I think that has a lot to do with how fast-paced, go we are as a society. So, services like the Beam sauna, in that same plaza, there is also a wonderful IV hydration place. These things force you to sit down and kind of reflect. So what I really recommend too is to sit there. If you're doing something, be present, put your phone down, hear the birds. All of these things help relax your nervous system. And so that is the baseline.
Yeah, and it does work when you think about these things and you incorporate some of those basic steps. It doesn't have to necessarily be you go and you purchase a service, or you go out and you get some new piece of equipment that's the fad or the trend of the day. It can be as simple as, and call me crazy because I am, but I like to go for runs when it's pouring rain outside. I like to just step outside during a rainstorm for a little bit and just soak it in a little bit, take a few deep breaths. It's a wild thing to do. I wouldn't recommend it. It's certainly not for everyone, but those 30 seconds can be the difference between a calm rest of your day and being stuck in the never-ending loop, it seems, of that hustle and bustle.
Exactly.
So Angelica, especially for women who have such unique pressures put on them by our society, by their family life, by their work life, and everything else that we all deal with, why are these actions so helpful to their health and overall wellness?
I mean, if you think about it, that is just how our bodies are meant to function. I mean, end of the day, we are mammals. We are supposed to be moving. We're supposed to be eating. We're supposed to be drinking. We're supposed to be socializing. And by drinking, I mean water. But we're supposed to be building that connection. And I think with how busy and technologically involved we are, we have lost a lot of crucial parts to this. And it doesn't have to be a crazy amount. If you can commit to walking around your block once a day, you will be in a better position than you were before. One of my biggest struggles with some clients of mine is that they see the giant pie instead of the slice in front of them. And it's like these small changes are going to add up. And your endurance will build up and your mineral balance will build up. And it's just like, it's a snowball effect. And, I think a lot of people are really used to getting results quickly, no matter the cost. And realistically, that's not how your body was meant to function. So I'm really hoping that the individuals who come to this event really take away that it doesn't have to be complicated, and that you can set aside this time for yourself to really recharge and heal yourself.
And what's really great too is we have so many of the resources that can help with this in our community, both the businesses that have moved in. You mentioned that this is going to be at Beam Light Sauna, which just moved into West Bloomfield recently. They only have been open for maybe a couple of months, and pardon me if I'm just slightly off on that at this point. There's other businesses that you mentioned that are in the same sort of health and wellness space nearby. There are resources through the Chamber of Commerce, but we also are surrounded by nature, surrounded by parks. We have vibrant recreation systems in West Bloomfield, in Kegel Harbor, in Sylvan Lake, in Orchard Lake, and neighboring communities that make it so much even more possible for people to take some of these steps. So Angelica, how does that collective partnership, the resources, the collaboration, and just the availability of these resources make it that much easier for people to take those small steps right here in our community?
Well, it was amazing to me for when I went for the first time for my first visit at Beam, and I saw all of the wonderful health and wellness businesses that are opened up in that very same plaza. That plaza is pretty much a one-stop shop. But when it comes to the health and wellness community, particularly on my end, so the holistic community and the naturopathic community, we really get by working with each other. We realize that not every person is going to be the right fit for you and vice versa. But when you have a community this large, you can honestly tell your clients that, hey, I know this might not work for you, but I know somebody who might be better. And that collective not only builds a really positive momentum of energy between the community, but that reflects out to the citizens as well. It is absolutely wonderful that I get to work with Beam and their clientele and really help them shoot off, and even just getting to meet people and add that kind of to my Rolodex of, who I can recommend to. The naturopathic community isn't the same as the allopathic community. It's very much welcome and opening and realizing that you might not be the right fit for someone, and that's okay. And so West Bloomfield is really kicking off with their health and wellness. So it's great.
And it's a great community to do that in too, because especially this time of the year when the sun is shining, we want to get outside. We have that attraction to the outdoors. We have our parks. We have the great environment that surrounds us in all four of these communities and these resources. And what's great too, Angelica, you can build a community as you're trying to build a new lifestyle for yourself with something like this, both this event, these different places people can go, and just the nature of our community all together. How does that help form that community, and why is forming a community as you're taking these steps such an important factor to help people find those results they're looking for?
Well, it's so helpful in just the fact that, what works for one person may not work for another. And it is okay to be that way. And it is okay to sit there and say, hey, that's not my area, but here's my friend, or here's my colleague. And having that openness and open dialogue only fits to serve the community better. There's no gatekeeping here, sort of thing. And I'm very much aware of all the health and wellness that's really in the greater West Bloomfield area. There's, tons of gyms opening up and things like that. And if we all connect together, we can really help the community by making sure everyone has a place where they feel welcome and heard, and really empower them to reach their goals, or in some cases readjust their goals to something that they can attain. It's just a really beautiful family type experience.
Glow and Restore, a women's wellness experience, Saturday, July 11th, 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. with arrivals scheduled for 5:30 and 6:30 at Beam Light Sauna on Orchard Lake Road in West Bloomfield. Tickets are limited. Only 30 guests will be able to attend, and $50 per ticket. Angelica, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us this special preview of your upcoming event.
Thank you for having me. It was wonderful.